What was that ding?
What was that?
What the hell was that?
I don't know. It's like someone
I
got.
think that was me. Yeah, I think that was me.
Hola, amigos, and welcome to the Mark Out Mania.
That's what happens when you buy your fire alarm at Whole Foods like James, and it's running low on battery. It gives you a nice little sound instead of that chirp.
Yeah.
I think came in perfectly at the end of the day.
It did. It did. You did time it pretty well.
No, that was a notification from YouTube.
Amigos, I am Pedro Boygues, Texan Spaniard, and we have James the Extreme Osorno.
Kazuchika Osorno. Yes, sir.
We also have the God of Thunder, Zeus King Dark, the man who smuggles Spider-Man. Oh, I mean Deadpool. 7-Eleven.
He was helping Spider-Man get from town to town.
That's right. You named Spider-Man? Yeah.
Yeah, Deadpool. What's Spider-Man's real name? Deadpool. Oh, Mr. Pool. Okay.
Back in my day, he was called Parker. So hey, some little show happened last weekend, didn't it?
Wrestlemania?
Oh yeah, some little indie show. Yeah.
Wrestlemania.
Yeah. Only 125,000 people showed up.
It was Wrestlemania.
Yeah, they really sold a lot at the last minute.
Yeah, they did. I thought they wasn't going to fill it up, but they did.
I mean, there's like over like 8,000 tickets, I think, for each day at the last minute.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot for, what or, most of those seats were probably not great.
No, I'm sure WWE slashed all those prices at the last minute just to fill it,
Probably. But either way, it wasn't a bad WrestleMania. I didn't think. I was actually the hype was getting to me between the online and and everything. I was getting interested to see what was going to happen. And I didn't have anything better to do, and I was like, all right, fine. $8. $8 you can't beat $8 for WrestleMania. And so I went ahead and got Peacock, and I was watching.
Did you watch NXT too?
No.
Okay. Well, that's part of WrestleMania weekend. What's wrong with you?
I not ever watched NXT.
You ain't watching that.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's WrestleMania weekend. They all mesh together.
James,
really no.
When Zeus sees NXT is coming up, he goes next, and he changes.
Yeah. Zeus is so anti NXT. I love it. I love it. He goes
NXT. It's just not on my radar.
He's never gonna watch it. No. It's like you with the Snyder Cut, Pedro. Same shit. He's never gonna watch it.
Me with the Snyder Cut. I don't care if they put the X-Men in that damn movie.
I don't know what we're gonna do. Like
that was good.
God forbid. God forbid. One day James is no longer with us, and then Zeus and I are going to discover in his will he has something like we have to watch the Snyder Cut.
Thank you for the idea, Pedro.
Do a home theater in James' house.
We have to go. We have to travel to Orlando.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my lawyer as soon as the show is finished. I'm gonna make an amendment to my will.
James's mom is there. She's yelling at us and trying to make a seat.
Zitty, what you say? Trying to make a seat? Well, I'll gladly.
And then Lux is there, and he's like, "Well, after this is over, I'm gonna make y'all watch some AEW." We're like,
"Yeah, we'll make you watch AEW."
I have a feeling Russ will get thrown across the room.
Damn right.
But I mean, but I was getting a little bit. You know, I had my expectations tempered because a lot of people saying how it was an underwhelming card and stuff like that. But sometimes those turn out to be the best shows. I mean, not in this case, but you know, that's what I was thinking. I didn't think the Saturday show was bad at all. You
Well, here's
know?
the thing. Let's rewind just a little bit before you get too far into that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sitting there and I realize that I'm the only one of the three of us watching the pre-show.
Hell yeah!
with the news of AAA being bought by
Oh yeah,
WWE.
Yeah.
Zeus was sending me. It was Stephanie's birthday on Saturday, so Stephanie and I are out. I think we were at a jewelry store. I was losing some money, and what's it called? I was getting these text messages from Zeus about AAA being bought. I was just like, what?
And remember, I had that source tell me in February.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that might be happening. That it was in the works.
The 1 year I didn't watch the pre-show, this happens.
Yeah. So, but of course, you know, it's such a wild rumor. That's why I didn't, you know, I didn't talk about it on the show. But
what are they gonna do with fucking Alberto El Patron? He's the champ, right?
Who knows? It don't matter. Continue, Zeus.
Yeah. And so, but you know, they had the little press conference and you know, everybody was there, Dorian and you know, the Widow Pena and everybody and you know, I did like that they had somebody in between Penta and Phoenix. You know, because you know, I just want them to put off. You know, I don't want them to instantly make them into a tag team where we automatically know that they're brothers and shit. You know, it's just, you know, just like,
right.
You know, just put that off, build it up. So, and then they announced that there's going to be a Worlds Collide PLE in Los Angeles, starring the luchadors and luchadoras of AAA.
Lucha Underground. Oh.
Yeah. Well, you know, we got Matanza on the way.
Yeah. We already got Penta and Reclusa. What's next?
Right?
And the White Rabbit.
Yeah. So, so that first night, you know, the crowd was really great, and they were super into Gunther and Jey Uso.
Yeah, I thought the match was okay. You know, I thought it was okay.
Also, it, you know,
do you think Gunther tapped too fast, Zeus?
I mean, none of them were. You know, we didn't need any of the matches to be great.
Right. Yeah. But do you think Gunther tapped out too fast?
Oh, yeah, probably. But I don't think it mattered.
Right.
Know, after the last 25 years of seeing Lucha Libre and how fast they tap out and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, oh, it's a chicken wing. It's a chicken wing. He tapped out a chicken wing.
Was it Bob Backlund? Yeah, you know, the crowd was into it, and you know, I didn't expect them to sound as loud as it did on TV because it's a stadium. So even though it may be loud, sometimes it doesn't come off as loud, you know. But it sounded pretty good. It sounded pretty good, you know. So I was like,
Yeah,
okay, so they must be loud there because in an open air stadium, it doesn't sound like that.
right. But I mean, for football games and stuff, I mean, it gets loud.
Yeah, yeah. But it was all right. I mean, and I enjoyed it.
Um, according to people, it was an atrocity to life itself. That
Uh,
that Gunther tapped out to Jay Uso. Ooh.
Yeah,
well, they've been trying
once
to get.
again,
Well,
all of these people that didn't like it, and yet when it happened, there's 60,000 fucking people
Yeah,
going fucking ballistic.
yeah, they're all eating. So yeah,
yeah. There's a big disconnect between like the people online and they're so in that bubble. You know what I mean? They're like so in that bubble. There's this big disconnect between like reality and what their reality is or whatever. So they don't
yeah,
understand.
because as soon as right, yeah, because like Zeus said, as soon as I mean, like as soon as Gunther tapped out, that place went nuts. So I don't know. And it wasn't a bad match. It wasn't bad. I mean, it was okay. And like you said, Pedro, it doesn't matter anymore if the wrestling is actually good as long as the story is told and told well, and the crowd is into it, then you're good. That's what you want. You
I don't
know?
know. I don't know if you guys recall this. I've said this a few times in the past few months, but I kind of believe matches could be shorter in the modern time because it
Uh
just
huh.
doesn't matter. It just doesn't really matter.
No,
Uh,
you need because here's what you need. You need great a nice video package.
mm-hmm.
Then you need a great entrance, right?
Yes.
To really get people excited to see the gear, to drink all of that in, you know,
Yeah.
and then the matches, like okay, so I'm looking at the results from night one. So yeah, Jay Uso against Gunther. That was 16 and a half minutes. That's pretty fucking long. Um
Yeah.
then the New Day defeated War Raiders. That was 9 minutes and change. Jade beat Naomi. That was 9 minutes and change.
I
Uh,
enjoyed that match.
it was okay. It was.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little bit better than I thought it was going to be, and you know, it became Jade's moment, and I was all happy for her, and apparently, she needs to work with her whoever's making her gear for with her a little bit more because
Yeah. Jay got
her
her ass kicked last night on SmackDown, but that's another story.
yeah, she's just constantly messing with
Yeah, her
her
top. Yeah.
gear. Yeah.
Mm.
But she got that great pinfall. She got her pose and everything, and I think that worked out well. Jacob Fatu beating LA Knight. I was a little surprised at first, but I mean Fatu he's quite good for who he is.
Yeah, man.
Um, that was 10 minutes and change. Um, I don't know what I was doing, but I missed El Grande Americano beating Ray Phoenix. Phoenix, of course, he subbed in for Rey Mysterio because he was hurt. Got hurt at
Yeah,
that.
well, go on there. Shit. Everybody now. Now, I was reading people online bitching that, how can Ray finish job to Grande Americano? And I'm like, read the tea leaves, idiots. Fucking WWE just brought AAA. They're doing a Worlds Collide pay per view in June. You put Grande Americano over, and then Rey Mysterio comes back in June and pins him and pulls the mask off, and it's a whole big to do. That's
Yeah,
how you
or
do it.
maybe even SummerSlam. Who knows?
Right, right, right.
There's a lot of stuff that they can do at Worlds Collide. I don't, I mean, Ray being out of WrestleMania, I don't know if he's going to be back in time for that, but
Mm.
we'll see.
But he doesn't. He could have a moment. I mean, he doesn't need to fly around the ring. You know.
When was the last time he flew around the ring, James?
He tries. He still tries to fly
He
around
still
the ring.
tries, Pedro. He still
He
tries.
shouldn't be. He shouldn't be, but he still tries.
No, he should. I've told you this a million times. I've told you this a million times. He should be retired. He should be off TV. Put him in the manager role.
His original gimmick was the hummingbird.
Yeah.
Right. And he should be the penguin now.
Damn. Damn.
Just waddle around and flap his arms and.
I understand a man is in his 50s and he's doing this thing, but I don't want to. We've all seen the best of Rey Mysterio already. This ain't it. So move it on.
It just 40 years of wrestling, at that high level, and being thrown around way too much simply because he's small enough to throw around throughout his career.
I mean,
it's just catching up with him. I mean,
this isn't the WCW Cruiserweight division. It's done. That's it. Go.
Well, or it's not the NWO throwing him like a lawn dart into a fucking trailer.
That too, yeah.
Landing on concrete.
Mm-hmm.
That was stupid as fuck. But I digress.
It's good. So you got the card in front of you.
Charlotte Flair, the daughter of the man most synonymous with WCW, was defeated by Tiffany Stratton.
She fucked Tiffany Stratton up, man. So Tiffany Stratton had a bruise on her forehead, a chipped tooth.
Yeah. They had an orthodontist on site, I heard.
Something like that. Yeah.
I was surprised.
She showed up on SmackDown last night, Tiffany Stratton, and you could tell her face still didn't look right. She was like, off.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought back when the Royal Rumble stuff happened, I thought Charlotte would be winning. I thought it was kind of a far-gone conclusion, but no. They made the better choice.
I mean,
Charlotte had her time. That's it. Yeah, and yes, I know, but they want to, they want to give it a record and all that stuff, but no.
The record's gone, baby.
Mm-hmm. I think they made the right choice too. Now, like it's Tiffany Stratton. Can she, and she carried the load. I mean, she's young. She's what, 24, 25? So let's see what she can do,
Oh yeah, and maybe Mariah May's on the way.
Yeah, that too.
Too many blondes.
Whoa, hold on now.
Pedro.
Hold on.
Don't you blaspheme like that, okay?
Hold on, boys. Hold on.
Thing.
There might be somebody else on the way too if the WWE decides to go that route. Yeah, because guess who got released from the AEW contract?
Who?
Britt Baker.
Oh.
That might happen too. I understand, but that just as a big, fuck you. Hey, look.
I can only imagine Britt Baker and the WWE how grating that could be.
It's to sell T-shirts that say DMD. That's it.
That's true. Oh, would Kane reprise Isaac Yankem as like a mentor role?
I think that would be hilarious, actually. I think that would be pretty funny. Like they do vignettes in a dentist office, and she tells him to hand him the scalpel and the stuff to the scrapers and different things.
Oh man,
I think that would be pretty fucking funny, personally.
Yeah, but Charlotte, took the L. So let's see.
Yeah, and then we had the main event, which was the most interesting match to me. And I said to myself before the match started, I'm like, what's the what's the end? What is the good that can come of this match? And I was like, is Paul gonna turn on both of these guys? On both of his guys and join with Seth? I was like, that makes the most sense. You know.
Right. Yeah, but you didn't think it was going to happen until it happened.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then Paul waddled his ass up there, and he could be the Penguin too. He could
Yeah.
be Ray. They could be the Penguins. Um.
Well, you did want the Penguin. You wanted a second season. There you go.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I didn't really want a second season. It was really good.
Yeah.
But I know you wanted it.
Yeah, it was good. Good stuff, man.
No, I loved it. No, I loved it. It was great. But yeah. So then, Paul turns on Roman and CM Punk. CM Punk, everybody happy, got his WrestleMania main event, and I don't frankly give a shit. But
Seth Rollins went full blown heel.
yeah, and yeah.
Did you see what happened on Raw the next night, Zeus?
Huh?
Did you see what happened on Raw the next night with that?
Where Braun Breaker joined him?
Yeah, talking about the new Dangerous Alliance.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, they own the names, so they can do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can ever compile that much talent outside of the Horsemen ever again. Like in a big group anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, then on night 2, they start off with a banger match. The IO, Bianca, and Rhea Ripley.
That match was amazing. Yeah, that match was amazing.
But they really did a great job of doing, of making a great WWE style match. Lots of highs and lows, and I was really shocked. I thought that Rhea Ripley was winning for sure.
Yeah.
And we end up getting Io retains, and
supposedly she's like the first Japanese person to win at WrestleMania, or in nearly 30 years, the first Japanese person to win at WrestleMania.
Wow, maybe
didn't Asuka win at WrestleMania?
No, she's never won at WrestleMania. She has the reverse, the not reverse, but the opposite of the Undertaker. she's
like 0-6.
Yeah, she's never won. Yeah.
Yeah, so supposedly Bianca Belair broke 2 of her fingers at WrestleMania in that match.
Oh shit!
Wow.
She was on SmackDown last night with her fingers all, her hand cast up, all fucked up.
Well, what is it? She, I guess the last person I can. Wait a minute. So Nakamura's never won at WrestleMania?
No, Nakamura's never won either.
Wow. So like we're going back to like Tenryu and
potentially, yeah.
Wow.
Because,
how far back is that? 7 or 8?
WrestleMania.
No, that wasn't that far, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, that was like
really the one with Tenryu in it, yeah.
Because they beat Demolition, Tenryu, and that big guy that he shot on Earthquake.
Tenryu and Koji Katawa.
Yeah,
they defeated Demolition at 7.
Wow.
And that was in
92?
91.
91, okay.
So,
why is this movie on my TV? Oh.
James, you can't blame us for your bad taste in TV and movies.
I just flipped it on, and now I got Aliens versus Predator Requiem.
Just enjoy the Predator designs.
Can't see it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We're gonna get into that trailer later too.
Oh
Oh
yeah, yeah,
God.
yeah.
Oh God.
Okay, all right. Well, let's keep on. Let's stay on track
Yeah.
here. So
Go ahead,
then,
guys. Zeus.
so then after that match, we got Drew McIntyre beat Damian Priest. Another kind of a fun match, a little long, I thought. Um,
Yeah,
but
they beat the shit out of each other.
Drew McIntyre beats Robo Priest by pinfall in the Sin City Street Fight.
Yeah. There were a couple stiff shots in that match. Somebody
So
was throwing some punches.
like I said, I thought overall it was it was just another fun, well done, you know, slightly above average WWE style match. Then we had uh, one of the one of the most fun four-way matches I've seen in a long time. It wasn't great, but it was fun, and that was Dominic against Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta. And I tell you, man, people when Penta came out, that crowd went ballistic.
Yeah, they love him.
They popped big time for
Yeah,
Penta.
they love him. But
And
not for nothing, Zeus, but the biggest pop came when Dominic won.
yeah, when he won, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
because it was a great ending, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
because then we got we got to see the Judgment Day kind of at odds with each other, where where Dirty Dom kicked Finn Balor in the back and tried to hit him with the 619.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good though. It was good. I enjoyed that match. It was good. It was a fun match.
Yeah, so
It was
uh,
fun.
yeah,
And the crowd
then
popped hard for Dirty Dom. It was singing the Dirty Dom chant. It was hot. It was hot.
yeah, because he gets the win. I mean, Pedro, you said you saw the ending, right?
Yeah, that's all I saw was Finn Balor hit the coup de grace, and then what Dominic came off with the frog splash and got the pin, and then I saw the celebration, and then that's it. That's all I saw.
Yeah. So
Which, by the way, I don't know if y'all caught it on the in the celebration, like when Dom won. At one point, you see Finn Balor outside the ring, and he's smiling. He's so happy, and then it's like he realized the camera's on him, and he tries to put a shocked look. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't see that. No.
yeah, then they showed footage of him being taken to the back on the golf cart, and he had the mean look on his face
Yeah.
for that.
That was good stuff.
But
What was after that,
then,
Zeus?
huh? Oh, then after the match, they showed Dominic in the back, waving the belt at Big Papa Pump and apparently Braun one of other Braun's other brothers,
Yeah.
and so that I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Big Papa Pump was talking shit on Twitter on Monday, like, hey, look at that little I didn't snap his little neck.
Dirty, dirty Dom. Dirty, dirty Dom. That's what they were chanting. It was hot. It was hot.
Yeah. Then we had Randy Orton come out for the open challenge, and man, when Joe Hendry music hit, people went ballistic too. Man, people went ape shit for that guy, man.
I
mean, it was a.
You know what I like, Zeus? You know what I liked? I liked the finish of that match. Don't laugh at me, but I liked how they did it.
Yeah, that.
I like that finish. He did the pose, and as soon as he did the pose, the RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah. Then he picked him up and showed him
Yeah,
on
then Randy
TikTok and hit
Orton
him
did
one
the
more time.
pose. Yeah, and Randy Orton did the pose. I was like, what? I was like, come on. But you're right though. As soon as it was Joe Henry, the crowd went nuts.
Yeah.
And he came out rocking his TNA strap too. I was like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, announced as the TNA World
As the
Champion.
TNA World Champion, yeah.
And then I was not invested at all in Logan Paul and AJ Styles. I didn't give a shit. It was too long and it was stupid. So there you go. There was that match. I hate
Damn.
Logan Paul. Hate him. Can't stand him. He's got more go away heat with me than X Pac. I swear to God.
Brutal.
He's just fucking useless to me, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, you're not watching Paul American on Netflix? No?
Okay, A, I didn't know it was a thing, and now B, I'm gonna go double thumbs down it. Holy shit.
They had the whole thing with Karrion Cross came on afterwards and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And yeah, the
Oh
whole thing with
yeah.
AJ Styles in the back. Yeah.
Then they had uh so they had the terror. There was a really terrible fake attack on Bailey
Yeah, that looked bad.
in during night one, and that made uh Larry Valkyria get a new tag partner, which turned out to be Becky Lynch, and they beat Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the women's tag straps. And that was okay match. I wasn't feeling it.
That was just that was done for the WrestleMania moment. You know what I'm saying? That's
Oh,
exactly
of
what that was done
course. I
for.
mean, of course it was, but
Yeah, but because how they lost the straps back to them on the very next night on Raw, and then Becky turned heel and
yeah,
beat the shit out of Lara Valkyria. So you came back, you had your WrestleMania moment. You were a champion for one day, then lost it the very next night. They beat the shit out of your tag team partner. So now you joined your husband as the heel couple. Is that what we're doing now? Okay.
yeah. So that was the end of that.
Yeah. Thank God it wasn't that long of a match, so it was okay.
Yeah, it's pretty ho hum.
Hmm.
But then the main event, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, was just a
Here
just
we
a
go.
clusterfuck of a stupid ass match.
Okay, first of all, if I may, Zeus, if I may.
Go right ahead. That's all I
First
want
of
to talk
all,
about.
first of all, that was nothing near Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns from the year before. Not even close. Okay, that was a main event. That was a main event WrestleMania match. This, just like you said, it was a clusterfuck. First of all, I think people backstage, the fucking clock management, they fucked up because they had too much time on their hands. So what I read was they purposely slowed down the match, which made it worse to begin with. Okay.
I didn't think they had. I didn't think they had good chemistry. I didn't think they were working well together.
No, no, it looked a lot of stuff looked forced in the ring. Like it wasn't very fluid at all. It was forced.
It wasn't.
Okay.
It just. It's not that it wasn't fluid or anything. It just didn't. It just didn't look good. It just looked. Like they weren't. They weren't working well together. You know, that's
Uh,
what I that's
and you could Cena's not the greatest in-ring worker. Yeah, I mean, he is what he is, but he has decent matches. They're decent. This was not even decent.
no, I wasn't feeling it from either one of them.
Right now, then you got the whole thing with Travis Scott, who took an hour and a half to get from the top of the stage to the ring. Okay,
Oh, that was the worst part of it by far.
that was horrible, horrible. I mean, somebody teach this guy how to sell a crosswords too. He looked horrible.
He was
It,
terrible at
it's
everything he did.
I didn't like the
That
finish.
guy.
I didn't like the finish. I kicked him in the balls. I hit him in the face with the strap, and he won. I'm like, here's Cody Rhodes. The year before got pounded out by The Rock and fucking and Roman Reigns. He got tossed all over the place, and he was able to win. And now he gets hit in the head and the belt and loses to Cena.
Well, that they kind of felt like that they over goody goodied him. Kind of like remember when Barry Windham and Dustin were tag team champions,
Yeah.
and Ricky Steamboat got hurt in that match they were tagging against him with, and Barry was like, like fuck his ribs up, and Dustin's like, yeah, I don't want to hurt him,
Yeah.
That's kind of what it reminded me of. I was like, oh, I don't want to hit him with the belt. Hit him with the fucking belt.
It looked like a powder puff hit too. It looked like he didn't even really. I was like, really? That's how you're gonna do it? I mean, I expected Cena to win because it made sense for him to face Orton in Orton's hometown at Backlash. It's the Cena tour, blah blah blah. But and then you get the redemption story at the end of the year, right before he retires. He turns back babyface. I get it. So it made sense for him to win. Now, my thing was like, how are they going to do it? There was no Rock. There was the whole shit with Travis Scott. The match was purposely slowed down, which made it look worse than what it was. Because, like you said, Zeus, it didn't look good to begin with. Okay, they looked like they had no chemistry whatsoever, none. It was a clunker. It was a straight up clunker.
It's a clunker.
It was.
It was so bad that the fans were tuning in to Dynamite on Wednesday.
Now hold on, back up. Hold on.
Nobody was turning into Dynamite on Wednesday.
As the
521 people. Oh, that's it. No, 500
online. After the WrestleMania night 2, the AEW fans were saying online that it was so bad that AEW was gonna get like a windfall because fans were gonna turn away from the WWE and watch AEW because of how bad the main event to WrestleMania was. And I was like, the regular people, we're not talking about hardcore wrestling fans, but your casual wrestling fan don't give a fuck about wrestling quality. Not one fuck. They just like stuff is happening. Oh, this result. Oh my god.
They want to see a show. They want to see a show.
There was a lot that I saw a lot of videos of parents that were filming their kids crying after Cody lost.
Yeah.
Crying and throwing tantrums and shit.
Now, I've seen worse matches than that Cody fucking Cena match. I have. I think we all have. But for a main event for WrestleMania, that is not what you want. Especially when one of the guys who was in your main event for last year's had a great showing last year. And you went from that to this?
But James, you might be aggrandizing that match a little much.
No, hold on. If you compare it to what we had on Sunday, yes, it was that much of a difference. On its own, it was what it was. I'm comparing it to what it was on Sunday, Pedro.
But hear me out, James. Last year, the Roman Reigns Cody Rhodes match was super fun because it was just a bunch of just craziness, right?
It was overbooked, crazy. Right.
It
It
wasn't
was
even
entertaining.
yeah, it wasn't really even a proper match, right? It was just a
Right.
television show. It was just
Right. It
insanity.
was entertaining.
It's like the Blues Brothers, like the end when the all the car crashing and all that stuff is going on, or like a police story with Jackie Chan, the scene in the mall at the end with all the stuff crashing and stuff. It's like that, right? That was the Cody Roman's main event was like that.
Right.
So I could see, if you look at it through that vein, I could see that they were what they did on Tuesday. I didn't watch it, but from what I hear, I could see where they're thinking, oh, it'll come off kind of like that, but it just didn't, right?
It didn't come off like that at all, Pedro. Yeah. At all.
Is what I gather.
Like Zeus said it perfectly. It was a clusterfuck. It did not come off at all.
But it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
But, I mean that's the thing. It doesn't matter.
Now you do have to remember, it's not like the main events for a lot of these WrestleManias have been hit and miss over the years too. So
right,
yeah.
I maybe it's me. I wasn't expecting a Mac Classic, especially with Cena in there. Okay, but I expected it to be more, like you said, Pedro. The other one had everything going on. At the end, it was. I expected more of that, and we got none of that.
Right.
And especially for a guy who this is going to be his last WrestleMania ever. You throw everything to the wall and you see what sticks.
It's kind of crazy that they sort of put so much on Travis Scott to be involved.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
I also
he had trouble carrying. He had trouble carrying the hardcore strap to the ring. The belt looked like it was bigger than him.
Well,
come on.
He makes that dude makes Dom Mysterio look like fucking Chris Masters.
Saying that guy with the buckle too wet. I mean, come on.
Yeah. But
like whose balls did he juggle to get in that position?
I don't know.
Jesus.
They said online that Bobby Roode booked that match, produced that match.
Oh boy.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, he should get punched in his nuts.
That's what they were saying.
That was horrible. I understand the fallout. I just if that match happened on the next to last match on a B pay-per-view on a BPLE, nobody would be saying anything. It'd be it was a whole hump. That's it. Next. But the fact that it's the main event of WrestleMania. But hold on, Zeus. The fact that it's the main event of WrestleMania, that's not what you got to. That's not what you got to do.
Well, I mean, the fact is that match was doomed the moment they booked the interference from Travis Scott.
Yes, I agree.
No matter what happened before that, it wouldn't have mattered because that bullshit ruined any kind of greatness for that match. That match is never going to be remembered fondly now. It's just going to be remembered as stupidity. So
right. That's a fair point. I mean, it's just, especially if it's the last guy for WrestleMania, he's never going to wrestle another WrestleMania ever again. And this is how he goes out. This is how you do. I mean, I thought it was going to be hot because I love the minimalistic entrance that he had. I was like, they're going to do this shit. Right. He had just the all black screen and his name in white letters. That's it. John Cena. No fanfare, no pyro, no nothing. Just straight up. I was like, okay, this is hot. And it was all downhill from there.
Yeah.
I didn't. And, I have no problem with Cena as the heel champ. I get it. I like the actual story itself. I'm going to be the last real world champ. Like he told like he told Orton on SmackDown last night. He goes, they're going to hold another tournament. They're going to give you a piece of tin, but it won't be a disc belt because I'll be the last one to hold the real world champions. You will be holding whatever they give you if you're lucky. See, I get the story. It's good. But the way they're getting there, eh,
I don't know if it's
nah.
good, but it's there.
It's good. I mean, it's to me, it's good because it keeps it interesting.
Well,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because all of us are going to wait. It's going to be the redemption turn. So we're all going to be like, okay, what's going to trigger it? So
uh,
that's what makes it interesting.
two things. One, how do y'all feel about Cena breaking the record? And two, it's worth it just for that Arton Cena thing on Raw. That was that,
Well, the Raw and the SmackDown last night was better than the one on Raw. But
oh really? I didn't see that. So
yeah, yeah. Um, first of all, he doesn't have the record. We all know Ric Flair's won like 20 something championships. Okay, but it is what it is. It's like Andre the Giant was undefeated in WWE. He was never body slammed. Yeah, okay. So that doesn't mean dick. That's just fine. You know, but I get it. These two guys were best friends at one point. For 25 years. They both started in FCW together. Him and Orton. So I get why he wants to work with one of his best friends. That I get. I get it. So it's fine to me. Again, it's part of it. I just I mean, it would have been hot if Flair would have came out of WrestleMania like you're not winning number 17.
if by
Not when
hot
I'm
you
still
mean
alive.
if by hot you mean Flair dying, yes.
Well, Flair died with actually Flair died on the way to the ring would have been better than Travis Scott.
Right?
I mean, come on, man, am I right? Flair defiant to his last breath. That this shit that we saw. He couldn't even carry that strap. He was struggling. He was sweating. I'm like, come on, man.
I mean,
No.
the titles don't even matter anymore, though. I mean,
No, it doesn't.
They don't matter anymore. It's just it's just like all this stuff with fucking when you're talking about John Cena. I mean that some of these title reigns over the last 25 years have just been nothing.
Caca.
Well, we say this, but the Roman Reigns reign actually was kind of building it up pretty strong. I mean, it's until they introduced the fake world title.
Well, that's what to me. All that shit changed when they had the Raw, SmackDown. You had the Raw Championship, the SmackDown Championship, the Universal Belt, and then the World Heavyweight. All that shit went out the window with title reigns because it just melded numbers. It just became a mess. It was all convoluted.
But wasn't that kind of what made that last Roman reign kind of work? Was he put the belts together? And
yeah, it would have been really nice if you would have took that shitty one on fucking Raw and put it in there too. Then it would have been one belt. Then it would have really meant something.
Like, well, I mean, but for a while there was just the one champion, like
right.
under his reign, and then towards the end they're like, let's introduce this other one.
Yeah.
Let's have this world heavyweight title. It's like, but that title already got put in the Universal and the WWE title got put into this one thing, like after gazillion unifications through the years, like.
Yeah. I just I'll say this. To me, WrestleMania has always been about pomp and circumstance. It's about the look. It's about the pizzazz. It's the Super Bowl. So you want to see all the lights, the glitz, the glamour, the all the production. As far as that goes, WWE never misses. The production was on point as always.
Oh yeah.
You know, like the video packages were amazing. That stage was fucking huge. You know, all the entrances looked good. Everything was done right. So as far as that goes, it was par for the course. You know, but that finish, it's horrible. Travis Scott should not be anywhere near wrestling. And then and but people were saying, "Oh yeah, well as soon as Travis Scott came out, people popped." Yeah, because they thought The Rock was going to follow him.
Yeah.
That's why they popped when Travis Scott came out, because Travis Scott's not coming out alone. He's coming with The Rock. Sorry.
The Rock disappearing from this whole deal after Elimination Chamber really hurts kind of the whole thing, sort of. But
yeah.
Well, isn't he supposed to be the corporation, the final boss, and nothing? It's like you introduce the idea of this storyline, but which it's a rehash from the Vince McMahon storyline. Okay, fine. You want to do it now? Do it now. But do it. Don't just say okay, and then don't do it. Don't follow up on it. Especially if you plan to make that. The main event of your biggest show of the year. I mean, 12. But
yeah, and then I'll tell you this too, like some of these, like some of Cena's, title. He had one that was like less than a night.
that's true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you had the Kane style one, yeah.
There's a 14-day one. There's like a 9-day. It's just not. It's you can pile all the wins on there you want to, and talk about that. But if you want to run the amount of days that he was the champion, and the number of defenses, I mean it doesn't in the kayfabe world,
there's no Bob Backlund.
It doesn't make him like, you can take all of John Cena's WWE titles and it still doesn't stack up against Ric Flair's just NWA titles.
No.
I mean, it just doesn't. So
do they say how many days cumulatively John Cena's been champion?
I
wonder if they say that stuff. I don't know. James.
I mean, I like the fact that he didn't change his gear. He kept he kept everything the way it is, and that was cool. I like that.
Tracy, the owner of AML Wrestling, and his son went to WrestleMania again this year, and they met John Cena beforehand.
Oh wow!
And they said it was really nice to meet him.
Yeah. Pedro, watched the promo last night from Orton and Cena. It was pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Orton goes like this. He even tells John Cena, he goes, maybe you should have kids. And then Cena goes, I can't have kids because I've been busy raising yours.
Oh, damn.
I raised everybody's kids.
Damn.
Yeah.
His promo on Monday was pretty good. That's about all I saw in Raw was his promo, and then that thing at the end where he goes, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Gets on
Yeah.
cable.
Yeah. Yeah. Doo, 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 doo.
I didn't see any. I didn't see any of the Hall of Fame, but apparently people hated it. Apparently, the Hall of Fame had one of the longest speeches ever by Triple H. Did y'all see any of this or?
I did. I have. You know damn well. You know damn well. I
Oh,
did
that's
not
right.
watch the Hall of
I
Fame.
didn't think about that, James. I didn't think about that.
You know goddamn well to ask me that, Pedro.
I didn't think about it. Sorry.
What are you kidding me? I wasn't watching that shit. I did
No,
watch
you and
NXT
you and
stand.
Tunnel and watch that on Friday night.
No, no, no.
Hey,
I did
but
watch NXT Stand and Deliver on Saturday, which I thought was great. By the way, thank you.
uh,
Uh,
uh, b-
I
before we
kicked off
get in,
WrestleMania Saturday.
before we get into that, James, I want to show something for Zeus. Zeus, I got a card. I think you're gonna want in WWE Slam.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Yeah,
Muta.
even a rare. Well, I didn't even know he was in that set.
Yeah,
I refuse to get into this.
There's some really good
I was
cards in there.
I will not fall for it a second time, Zeus.
You'll come over.
Oh.
Google guy.
I know. I'll see a Don Morocco and I'm
All those
gonna want it.
Raquel Gonzalez cards you could be collecting.
Yeah, I know. And Morocco and Stephanie Vakir and yeah.
Yeah,
the way you said her name, Stephanie Vakir. She got a great ass.
You got your head all up in it.
All the way up.
James,
Ferocious, aren't I?
James, tell us about NXT Stand and Deliver.
Well, first of all, I thought it was a good show.
What's your remark for NXT?
Yeah, I am, and I am, and the crowd was incredibly hyped, which I'm surprised because that show came on at 1 o'clock in the afternoon here, so that means it was like 10 o'clock in the morning over there. I was like, damn, these guys had a lot of coffee because they were pumped up. And it was good. The tag team match was really good. Actually, Fraxium lost their titles to Hank and Tank because Fraxium debuted on SmackDown last night. But that was a great fun match to watch. I mean, the crowd was so into it. Hank and Tank was awesome. It was good. It was good. Stephanie McKeer, she's amazing in that ring. She is no joke, man. And she's so over. She's so over. And I'll say this: I think the best thing they could have did with Julia was turn her heel. Yeah. 'Cause she was losing points to Stephanie as a babyface. Yeah, because the crowd was feeling Stephanie more than Julia. Now I don't know. The crowd likes heel Julia a lot better.
Julia works more in a heel like vein when she's in Japan, like in
Really?
Stardom.
So, all right. So
I mean, it's
this
not
is probably
so
up her
black.
alley then.
It's not so black and white, right? Like over there,
Right.
but
Right.
I mean, she was kind of a more of a heel than she was like a baby face. So
It was a nice, tight 2 hour show. No fucking 9 hour bullshit. No 3 hour pre show. No 7.5 hour long freaking PLE. It was nice 2 hours. Everybody did their job. In and out. It was good. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Even Lux enjoyed it. And, he's not the biggest NXT guy either. So, he's like, just
Yeah,
go watch.
we know that Lux enjoys NXT more than than WWE straight up because he's a mark for Tony Khan.
Well, yeah. Oh.
Hey, welcome in Alex Alberto G. Alistair pulled some strings to make Zelina champion on the same night he returned. Oh, did Alistair Black
Yeah.
return? And Zelina,
Yeah.
what title did Zelina win?
She's now the women's U.S. champion. She beat Chelsea Green.
Oh, Chelsea lost the strap.
Yeah. Well, they got bigger things in mind for Chelsea.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
She can get the Money in the Bank run. She can get that.
There you go.
But welcome in
So-
Alex
That's
Alberto
good.
G.
That's good for them.
Yeah.
I mean,
And Zelina's never held a singles title. So boom. There you go.
it's crazy to think that Aleister Black was gone for as long as he was because I saw him wrestle Buddy Matthews at WrestleCade that last year. I went. I guess that was 2019.
Right.
Well, the only thing I wasn't a fan of Aleister Black last night is that as soon as they come back, they got him in a thing with the Miz. I'm like,
Well, they got to do something with the Miz.
yeah, but is that where you want to start? I mean, I'll take it, but I'd rather see him do something with Carmelo Hayes.
Okay.
So, but I'll take it. But it was good to see Aleister back. Aleister Black back. I was waiting, and I was disappointed again. No Hikuleo. Nothing. Zero. Zilch.
That's okay. He needs to get a lot better before he's,
Yeah.
No Jeff Cobb sighting either.
Soon they're going to have so many Samoans and Polynesians, they're going to have to start like a third brand of the WWE.
The
everybody else.
Yeah.
But I like this. I like the Raw after WrestleMania. It was definitely one of the better ones they had in a long time. So it was good.
What all happened? I only
Jack-
saw the Orton Cena thing, so that's all I saw.
There was some good stuff going on in there. There was some good stuff. The whole thing with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker joins them, and it's the new Dangerous Alliance forming, and it was good. It was good. The SmackDown last Saturday, you had Nia Jax return. She beat the shit out of Tiffany Stratton, and then Jay got her shit kicked out of her by Naomi came into the ring and beat the shit out of Jade. So it's some good stuff going on. You have Zelina Vega, the new women's U.S. champ. So you can start building up some new, fresh storylines, some new ideas. So we see, and like Zeus mentioned, SummerSlam is right around the corner. Don't be surprised if Mariah May pops up. So, so we'll see what's going on. But it was a good way because there's always a little lull after WrestleMania. So we'll see where it goes.
Hey, James, what did you think of that? MLB baseball anime.
To what now?
You haven't seen that?
No, I haven't.
The what?
All right, hang on. Let me find it. I'll put it in the chat.
Alex Alberto G says Gunther is suspended indefinitely.
Yeah, they did the whole thing on Raw where I think Gunther's trying to. I think Jenny's pregnant or having a kid or whatever the fact may be. So they got to find a way to get him off TV. I thought it was great. He beat the shit out of Pat McAfee, but he put Michael Cole in the sleeper. So
wow.
I mean, it was awesome how they did it. So They played it up well. The scrambling for an announcer at the last minute. Michael Cole came back out. Him and Joe Sesatore was going. If he needs to take like a few catch your breath. He's like, no, I will not let Gunther bully me. I got to do my job for the people. This is the Raw after WrestleMania. I got to be here. And he was all flushed and red. It was done well. It was done well.
Pedro,
But yeah,
look in the group chat. Play
Okay.
that on the.
But yeah, Gunther was suspended, like Alex G said. Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Suspended indefinitely. Get out. Don't come back.
Get out.
Get out.
And this was a lot of hand drawn stuff. This wasn't.
Okay.
Oh, that's hot.
Okay, we're about to watch it. You guys ready?
Yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah, that was done well, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of drawing.
Yeah.
Drawing instead of.
Yeah, I was laughing.
It would have been better if they did Aaron Judge, but that's okay.
Yeah, Angie has to be happy. Angie.
Right?
Yeah, Angie has to be happy.
Yeah. Oh, man. But I thought, now, was it, was it a successful WrestleMania?
Yeah, money-wise.
Did it break any records? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, didn't they make like the most money
like
ever?
The most viewed, highest grossing WrestleMania of all time.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. And that was
I didn't know that for real.
Yes.
By Variety magazine.
Wow.
I
did not know that.
So like we mentioned earlier, a lot of the internet wrestling fans were kind of like, oh, this WrestleMania is so terrible. Fans are going to turn away. Cena Cody was so bad. They're going to turn away. They're going to watch AEW. AEW is going to level up. They're going to equalize and all this kind of stuff. And they don't realize one, and I'm not trying to be mean, but one, there is no good wrestling anymore. I'm sorry to all the people who think there is. There is no good wrestling anymore. No. Okay, good wrestling is gone. It's been gone for a long time. It's not coming back.
It was left in the 80s.
Well, I don't know that far back. It's just been gone a long time. But it's just something different now. It's becoming something different, and some people don't really understand that. I think yet it's not supposed to be kinetic activity for 30, 45 minutes. It's supposed to be just sort of telling little soap opera stories. Is kind of the name of the game now, and people were like, oh, it was so terrible. It was this. And it's just like, Zeus, you kept saying on the weekend in the Twitter chat, you kept saying, the crowd loved it. You kept emphasizing how the crowd was reacting.
Yep.
How the crowd was responding to things. And because that's important, because those are the people that they're playing to. That all the it's for the casual people really more so than and so they made a ton of money, got all these eyeballs on it, and people are going to tune in for more, and they're going to keep making money. And another thing, the ticket prices were so high for the most part, right? For this WrestleMania. Yeah. People were saying, oh, how can they be pulling this is criminal that they're charging people this much? And apparently now the ticket prices are going up even higher for their other shows post WrestleMania, because they went, oh, people paid it. We made the most money ever. Let's keep it going. Which is kind of a UFC thing, isn't it? Kind of a TKO UFC sort of strategy in general.
Yeah, the thing is though that UFC hasn't been hot popular in a long time though. I mean, they
don't need to be anymore as long as WWE keeps making money.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying that at this point in 2025, MMA, they don't have any stars. They don't have any
right.
They don't have any crossover appeal. Nobody's in movies. Nobody's interesting. So all they have is they're actually banking on all their hardcore fans, which are a lot in their own way are a lot like wrestling fans. They're not, you don't have water cooler talk about UFC anymore.
So I agree with you. The UFC is very cold right now, right?
Yeah.
They're very cold. But my understanding is last year they made more money than they'd made previous. Like,
Oh yeah, I'm not saying they haven't. I'm just saying it's just not. Yeah, just like you said,
like
it's just cold.
the
Does
profits are
UFC
going
have,
up.
Zeus? Let me ask you: does the UFC ever thought about marketing a star, having a crossover star, a la The Rock or a John Cena, but their version of it?
You mean somebody that could act in movies and things?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be. Yeah,
I mean, Conor McGregor was the closest thing they had,
right, right,
and he's
right.
such an impulsive dick that he even sabotaged himself.
Yeah,
You know, um, so I mean, they put Randy Couture was in some movies. He was in Untouchables and
Yeah,
and some other stuff. And Tito Ortiz has been in some stuff. But you're talking about guys that were stars there 25 years ago.
yeah,
right,
Um, and yeah, well, and then George St. Pierre, he got
right.
that bit part in Captain America. Um, so it's um, it's interesting to see how few people have become big. Now, here's another thing though about UFC. So somebody that's making these movies like Den of Thieves and the sequel,
Yeah,
they love UFC guys because there is in Den of Thieves, there's at least I think there's at least 3 fighters with uh, bit parts in those movies.
gotcha.
Um, and I think and there's like maybe it's like I think there's like 3 of them. And they had more in this. They had some in the second one too. So there are people who believe in those guys to be in movies, but it just nobody's kicking the door down and people going, oh,
Right, right,
did you see Uriah Faber in Rampage? Well, briefly,
right,
yeah,
right.
before he got killed, yeah, I saw him.
Because it's like because my mom doesn't watch wrestling, but if I ask her, do you know who John Cena is? She knows who John Cena is.
And here's
Is there a UFC equivalent to that?
right. No, absolutely not. Nothing close.
Right.
And,
Okay.
and here's another thing too is um UFC fighters are typically smaller people. Even the heavyweight guys, like the last big heavyweight guys, the one guy left the UFC over money problems, Francis Ngannou. He left because of money, and their other heavyweights have no charisma. The last heavyweight that they had that had any kind of charisma was Brock Lesnar.
Right.
And that's not even really saying much. And so, um, um, a lot of the what the more popular fighters are all small. Like George St. Pierre's 5'10", and he won that last title at 185 pounds, which means he was probably weighed in at he was probably 205 pounds. Um, before he cut weight for the fight. So I mean that's not a big guy.
Right.
5'10", 200 pounds. I've stood next to him. He's back when he was fighting at 170 pounds when he was probably at his most popular. Um, so yeah, they just don't have any big guys that command a big presence on the screen. And I mean, at least Randy Couture at I think he's like 6'2", maybe 6'2", something like that. Around 225 or so.
Yeah.
He at least looks the part. He doesn't look out of place in an action movie. Uriah
Oh
Faber
yeah.
Uriah Faber
They
looks
could do
small on the
Godzilla movies like
helicopter with
Doc
those other
Fry.
guys.
Yeah.
He did because I mean Uriah Faber's like 5'7", 135 pounds. He's not a
Right.
big guy at all. So that's another problem uh with MMA guys is they're honestly it's just so many smaller weight guys, and kind of if you look at boxing, boxing hasn't had many guys that were outside of the
Mm-mm.
heavyweight division that were huge stars, except for like Sugar Ray Leonard, um,
Yeah. Him, Roberto
maybe
Duran.
Oscar De
Yeah.
La Hoya worked
Oscar
Oscar
De
on
La
De La
Hoya.
Hoya, Floyd Mayweather,
Floyd
yeah,
Mayweather.
yeah, but he yeah, but
Pacquiao.
Floyd's never really he's never been he's been popular, but he's not like been like somebody that mainstream media has
Oh, I see
taken.
what you mean. I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, like he's not become a fan favorite like Muhammad
Right. He's
Ali.
no George
Because
Foreman.
I was gonna say the only boxing stars of the last however long have been lower weight people. I mean, so, but I
Yeah,
see what you mean now.
yeah. I mean, at Tyson Fury, he's got a decent following,
Yeah,
but you know,
those Klitschko brothers for a little bit were, but not really internationally. But
yeah.
They
So,
had their moment, but that was it. It wasn't like sustained or anything.
well, I mean, like I said, it's still making money, but they're literally banking on all their hardcore people.
All right.
They're banking on the fighting community. They're really they're not pushing guys into the mainstream. They're not showcasing guys, and at the same time too, like those sponsors like Budweiser, Monster, and they're not going in and saying, "Hey, let's do a cross promotion with
right,
UFC and their fighters and put them on the cans and
Yeah.
stuff like that." It's just not, it's not happening.
I was just curious right now, like who the champions currently were, and I'm looking at them. The only
Well,
one,
they've been showing up. This is what they've been doing, though. They've been putting them on WWE TV a lot because they always panning the crowd. Here's the UFC bantamweight. Here's the UFC middleweight champion. Here's the UFC number one contender.
Yeah,
So they've been showing them in the crowd every week. So I guess they're starting to try, to find somebody a standout. I guess you know.
the only one I knew was John Jones. The rest I don't know.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, and John Jones is he's a terrible
Problematic,
person.
yeah. He's very problematic, yeah.
Terrible person. He had the potential to be a really great guy, and he just decided that was not for him.
I mean,
You picked Porter.
it's kind of crazy because like you say, well, who can beat him? There really is still no one who can probably beat him, but he's such a terrible, human being.
Yeah,
It's a shame.
and I mean, and let's face it, Dana White's a shitbag too.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
He is
let's
he
keep
is
it real. He is.
he's a
Yeah,
shitbag. He slapped his wife in public. He's always been he's just notorious for being a heavy drinker in public, womanizing with women that aren't his wife, uh, you know, sleeping around. He's just, you know,
Who does? I mean, wait, never mind.
I'm just saying. I'm saying this is what he's known for in
Yeah,
public. You know,
he's no John Cena. Doo, 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 doo. Uh, but
yeah. So
what was the thing you said in the chat, Zeus? Uh, Josh Alexander was in AEW while Joe
yeah,
Emmy was in
yeah,
WrestleMania.
yeah.
yeah. Josh Alexander's wearing his fucking Rick Steiner headgear that he bought off a WWE shop, and he's walking around and catering, in AEW, singing "I'm an Oscar Mayer wiener."
Yeah.
Wanna
Joe
be
Henry's getting a massive pop at WrestleMania. 60,000
Yeah.
screaming fans.
Oh, they're not using me right.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go where I'm appreciated more.
Yeah.
I have a bigger ceiling.
So
Yeah.
to go with some of this, have y'all seen some of the Meltzer talk around this WrestleMania?
Oh my God, this dude is so deluded. It's not even funny.
I heard he was shitting on the matches from Stand and Deliver too.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but like so in one of the most Meltzer things ever. Okay, the EO Bianca Rhea Ripley match. Okay, so EO won the match, right?
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
he gives it the first 5 stars rating he gives to a women's WWE match is this match because Io Shirai won. That's the whole. I'm convinced it's the only reason he gives it this 5-star rating is because Io Shirai wins this match. He's like, oh, one of my princesses has been on the big stage. It's 5 stars. But yeah, he's been they've been shitting all over the everything about it, but it's just kind of funny,
And also him and other people are trying to invent numbers of people watching on Max. They're trying to
Yeah.
say
The latest unofficial number that came in was like 67 million. So let's see.
I mean, it's just like, I mean, this dude
Hey.
couldn't fucking, he couldn't tell the truth right now. If he tried, he should really try running for like a public office in Jacksonville or something.
67 million people watch AEW on Max. Really? Okay, good for them. Yeah. I only know one person who's been watching.
James, were you the one who mentioned the White Lotus thing to me? I can't. Someone mentioned White Lotus. Was it on here or was it somewhere else that someone mentioned the White Lotus?
No, it wasn't me. No.
Okay, so all this talk about the numbers on Max with AEW, they keep saying like, "Oh, I hear it's like this. I hear it's like this." They never give a concrete number, right? They're like, "No, well, they don't do that. They don't give the concrete numbers." And then, so they're saying this at the same time they're saying this. You have in articles, they're like the White Lotus. And they'll list all these hard numbers for the viewing because they got massive viewings for the White Lotus on Max or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's one of the most popular shows on Max. Yeah, that and the Pit. Yeah.
Isn't it kind of strange that they can give you the exact numbers for those shows, but for AEW, they don't give those numbers. It could be
because AEW is bullshit.
Is what?
It is bullshit. Yeah. AEW's pure pee caca. That's it.
How much AEW did you have to see, James?
I that motherfucker made me sat through he did cherry pick some matches for me. He goes, watch this, don't watch that, watch this, don't watch that. So I sat through my fair share. But again, watching it with him is enjoyable because, like I'm shitting on it with him. So it's he made me sit through about a good 5 or 6 AEW matches.
Oh, I thought it'd be worse. I thought you'd have to watch like a whole show or something.
No, not a WrestleMania weekend. No.
Okay, so I got a question. Did either of you watch Bloodsport last week?
No, we thought about watching it, but we were like, there was just too much stuff going on.
It was so late too. It was so late.
Not only we could have watched it the next day.
That's true.
But it was just too much stuff going on, and we had pizza shops to hit up and bars to go to, and we had Love Is Blind, Temptation Island, a whole bunch of stuff. So
wow, y'all are really a great couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
They went through every stage.
Y'all are on a lot of
They went through every
yeah.
stage. Lovers Blind and
James,
Temptation Island.
You and Lex are so cute.
That's my reality TV guy. I don't watch reality TV unless I'm watching it with him.
What?
So it's
You are a big fat liar.
You're cheating on him, then. You're cheating on him.
You have cheaters on your TV 24/7. There is a cheaters channel on Pluto, and I know you have at least one of your widescreen TVs in your
I
house
don't
is
know.
on that channel 24/7.
I don't
You're
know.
awake or sleeping. You are digesting
I
cheaters TV.
don't know what you're talking about. I have no clue. I've never been there. I don't know
James,
who
they
you've been.
sent
I
you a
don't know what
plaque
you.
saying you are the
James,
number
I
one
like.
cheaters
I
fan.
can't spell Pluto. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
James, I like that.
Joey
Zeus
Greco came to your birthday party.
Marty.
Oh shit!
Holy crap! There is no bigger fan of cheaters on planet Earth than James Sarno, ladies and gentlemen.
I love that show. I love it. I like it. I watch it. I watch Cheaters like if I can sit there and watch it the whole entire day.
Yeah, we
The
know.
entire day. I
We
actually
used
have
to
done
watch
it.
Cheaters while the show was going.
Yeah, we used to. We
Yeah,
used
what
to.
you
It's
say
true. We used
Losing
to.
his hose getting cheating on her
used to.
man. Oh, look at Joey Greco again.
Yeah, but he just called her a whore. Yeah.
So,
No,
Bloodsport,
but yeah.
I watched most of Bloodsport. I missed the last two matches because at that point it was past midnight and I needed to get to bed.
I saw the shit with Talia and the shit with Karrion Cross.
Yeah. Saw it was it was fun. It wasn't anything great. It's one of those things you can only do once a year, in my opinion.
Right.
But the Natalia stuff was funny because it was so WWE that quote unquote shoot fight. Of course they're not shoot fights, we know, but a work shoot fight involving the Natty Neidhart ends with a sharpshooter. Like everyone else is doing all this faux MMA sort of grappling,
chokehold shit like that, right?
And then her match ends with like the opponent gets thrown into the turnbuckle, into the ring post, and then they pass out, and the sharpshooter was the most Natty Neidhart sort of thing. And they were doing angles afterwards. The
whole thing with the NWA champ. They're gonna face at the pay-per-view, right? Something like that.
I have no idea.
Yeah, they're gonna have a title match at the pay-per-view. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, nothing. You know what? I am not hating on Heidi. Good for her. I mean, she's been doing this shit for a long time, so have fun.
Oh, which reminds me, Natty Neidhart, she is not a tall woman. She is not a very tall woman, right?
Yeah.
She's pretty short. I saw a picture of her from WrestleMania weekend with she was with Thekla. You know Thekla Zeus from Stardom and so forth.
Yeah.
The Austrian woman. Yeah. Thekla looked like Starlight Kid or something next to Natty Neidhart, and I was like, "How short is Thekla?" I didn't realize she was that short, and then it made me realize how short is Clark Connors, like because he's dating her, and he doesn't seem that much taller than her, and she's so short next to Natty Neidhart. I was like, "What the hell is he like?" I guess he probably is a tiny person, but.
Oh God, Clark Connors is billed at 5'6".
Oh shit! So he is.
Damn.
He is really short. So she's really short. She's like.
I mean, he must be about 5'4". He's 5'4". It's billed at 5'6", so he's like 5'3", 5'4". So I mean, she must be like 4'11".
Yeah. I mean, Starlight Kid's like 4'10" or 4'11", so yeah,
Yeah,
that would work out. Yeah, that's
that's my
shocking.
mom's size. She's 4'10".
Wow.
Yeah,
Um, but overall, the thing was fine. It was a lot of fun. It was kind of neat to see something kind of like a throwback in a way to like that UWF sort of
yeah,
UWF/ring sort of thing. Um, the Tavian Heights was on there, and he surprised the hell out of a lot of people because the way they worked in his like suplexes and stuff,
yeah.
it worked really well. I was like, oh, he's kind of made for this kind of style. Uh, they should do something like that with him. Karrion Cross was Killer Cross again for the night. That was pretty fun. Um, that Kratos guy was huge. That dude's fucking huge. I don't know why I didn't realize he was as big as he was, but he's huge. But that's about all I saw. Konami Shayna Baszler was pretty short, Zeus. And Konami did the job, of course. But just letting you know, because I know she's your wife. But
No, Lux. You said Shayna Baszler. Lux has watching the women's match in NXT. Lux has such a disdain for Jordan Grace. Okay, he said he'd rather look at Shayna Baszler than Jordan Grace. He cannot stand Jordan Grace.
oh my
Wow.
god,
I was rolling. I was like, wow, that's something.
you
That's something.
there is James. This reminds me. There is a women's wrestling Discord that I'm involved in, and there is this one guy on there, and he is so hardcore into Shayna Baszler. Like
Really?
the most surprising thing you'd ever see. Like this person posts all kind of weird sort of pictures of her backside and stuff like that, and you're just like, who is looking at Shayna Baszler this way? But
Is he
apparently,
visually impaired?
I don't know. It's just apparently this one dude, but I mean,
I
no one ever like reacts to his posts and things like that.
well, I mean, unless I mean, if he's not visually impaired, someone should check his head. Yeah, brutal, brutal.
Two
Shayna
more
Baszler.
two more notes on the WrestleMania week, the non WWE shows. I saw probably the worst match I've seen so far this year was Kenta versus Mance. What's his name? Mance something.
Warner.
Yeah, Mance Warner. It was from one of those shows on the WrestleMania week. That was horrible. You could not get a worse match than Kenta versus Mance Warner. Absolutely terrible. Mance Warner could do nothing. Like he wasn't. When people work a match and the person has to cooperate with doing the spots, he was like incapable of cooperating with anything. He was just absolutely useless in the ring. And the other thing was Bozilla versus Megan Bain. I saw that match from the GCW's spring break or whatever.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, because I was hoping, I know it was improbable, but I was hoping to see someone in the crowd at any one of the WrestleMania shows, including the NXT. No Bozilla. I wanted a Bozilla site.
I wonder what's going to go on with her because she's finished up at Marigold. She's not doing more with Marigold for a while.
Respect her. She is healing from an injury in her home country.
She's healing from an injury, but doing WrestleMania week shows.
No. That was pre-recorded. That didn't happen. Like that.
What? So to contradict myself a bit here, James, you were complaining about the Cena Cody match, right? About how bad it was and stuff, and I was like, well, it doesn't matter. So I know the match quality doesn't matter, but at the same time, I was very annoyed with the match quality between Bozilla and Megan Bain.
yeah,
so
Pedro, you
bad.
can't have it both ways, okay?
I know, but it was so bad. Like one, because like
Those are two
Bozilla,
big girls, man.
yeah, but Bozilla's so much bigger. She's so much
Yeah.
bigger than Megan Bain. She's only like an inch taller, but she's just
Right.
bigger. She's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
and
she's only
Megan
got 40
Bain
pounds on her.
and Megan Bain used to look more like that. She used to be bigger, but she's trimmed down. She's like gotten so lean.
Yeah.
And she just looks different than she used to, and it's like she can't even like do stuff like she used
How
to.
tall is Megan Bain? She's like what, 6'2"?
No way
No, I
they're
think they're
that
both
tall.
like 5'10" or something.
Yeah, they're
Really?
somewhere under 6 feet. Yeah.
I mean, stop fantasizing out loud, James.
You know.
5'11" is what Bozilla's listed at.
So
so she'd
5'11"?
be like
Okay.
my height. Bozil would be like as tall as me. So
Yeah.
but
Bozilla,
Bozilla.
James is like, put high heels on, baby.
Put high heels on.
Tower over me.
Let's come
Tower
over. Let's
over.
watch Cheaters. Come over. Let's watch
Come on,
Cheaters.
let's watch Cheaters.
Cheaters.
Um,
And chill.
Cheaters and chill.
Cheaters and chill. The thing with that match though was just Bozilla's offense looked so good, and then the other one, their offense didn't look so great. And then they just no sold everything. Everything was no sold. Like there are these things like Bozilla did this one German suplex where it looked more like a Dr. Death Steve Williams backdrop driver. Remember his backdrop drivers on like Kobashi and stuff?
Yeah.
It looked like that. It looked like she dropped Megan Bain like right on her head, but she didn't. It was just all hair and rolling and stuff. You know, I could tell she wasn't dropped on her head, but it's how it came off. And she did like 3 power bombs in a row. One of them was like a sit out sort of power bomb, and like kick outs. Like I'm so tired of that thing where they kick out and they're like like jumping to their feet, like screaming.
Yeah, that shit is so weak.
It's just lame. Like the match was just a bunch of dumb bullshit, and it was terrible. So don't watch it.
We got some AEW news here.
Okay.
AEW Collision, originally scheduled for May 17th at the Intrust Bank Arena in Wichita, Kansas, has been canceled.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the previously announced Dynamite on May 14th at the Now Arena in Hoffman Estates will be now a dual Dynamite and Collision taping. Last check, the Wichita Collision event had distributed an estimated 1,158 tickets. So,
brutal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
But yet, there's 500,000 more people watching at home.
Sure.
Oof.
Sure, Dave.
Yeah.
You
that is not good.
Fucking shut-in showed. You're fucking one match away from dying in a.
That guy's a hoarder, man.
Dork.
Somebody needs to take a match to his place. Just start over.
Because it's gonna go up like a damn tinderbox.
Yeah.
Oh, did James? I know Zeus saw this, but did you see the clips of like Sabu from that spring break thing? His match against
No, I've heard some nasty shit about it. I heard he looked horrible.
Yeah, apparently he looked inebriated. Like, and I didn't see it, but apparently he looked inebriated. But the clips I saw, like he was like gonna die. Like you
did he go through some glass or some shit? No, I'm not. I can't.
They had a piece of wood on these barbed wire. Like the ropes were replaced with barbed wire, and they had this piece of wood. The barbed wire ropes are all loose. They're not even tight. They're super loose. And so they whipped him into the piece of wood. And since the ropes are so loose, him and the wood just went straight through, and his head like splat on the floor, on the concrete floor, and you see this big blood spot where his head was. And
I mean, he's another one. Well, there's something wrong with him anyway. So
they claim it's his last match ever.
Yeah. Okay. His last match ever should have been 20 years ago.
So are we gonna tackle the elephant in the room or the weird
Yeah, let's do it.
thing in the
Let's
room?
do it. Let's do it.
Do it.
God damn, Predator Badlands looks like it's gonna be fucking terrible.
Now, now, you know, the only thing, the only thing that, the only thing that people are saying that it's got the alien skull from Independence Day in the middle. Okay, there's a Wheeling Utani synthetic in it. Okay, so what? It's going to be a massive crossover now. Or
Yeah,
that
the whole thing with like I'm not even dealing with the fucking Independence Day bullshit. I'm just sitting here going, this fucking Yautja looks terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I don't care what it's supposed to be. I don't give a damn. Like, you can tell me a million times that it's part of the story, that it's a young one. Like, we have 30 years of canon, of fucking series of the movies and the comics, and we've never seen a fucking Yautja look like this fucking ever.
yeah,
This is so
that was not a good look.
created. It's terrible. It's just terrible. It looks like a Yautja is
AI.
trying to he looks like he's trying to play fucking guitar for living color.
He looked like Damian Priest on a Saturday night. He looked like Damian Priest at the 10 drinks.
Like,
What?
like
Okay, I have questions, Zeus. I have questions. First off, was this computer generated or was this practical makeup special effects? Because it looks terrible. His face looks awful.
it's as far as I've heard, it's CGI.
Okay, because I mean, it looks like really bad AI to me.
Yeah.
It looks like bad AI.
And it's a shame because they had the prey design was so well done, and they went from that to this.
Well, here's the thing, though. I didn't care for the prey design is the helmet, the face mask
Right.
part. The face mask part makes up. I'm not crazy about the Yautja's face in that.
Okay, fair enough.
At all. It's why he need to keep that damn mask on there, But yeah, this thing just it looks terrible, and you can tell me. I don't give a damn if he's a young male runt. I don't care. It just looks terrible. It just looks terrible. And the fact that, like, are you trying to tell me that their foreheads just start growing out from this point, that like they start growing out and back?
Maybe he's an X-Men Yautja. He's a mutant.
X-Men.
And they've all got fucking lightsabers in this goddamn
Yo, but I did that. I was gonna bring that up. I was like, where did all this color come from? Because they have these colorful blades. I'm like, wait, what?
The whole point. All right,
Glow
so
sticks.
The whole point of the fucking
Glow stick predator.
the double claws on the wrist gauntlet is so that they have a built-in fucking blade. Because they're on the move a lot and they don't need another fucking thing sticking out of them like a fucking sword. Everything is supposed to be compact and held close to their body. The fucking computer is in a wrist gauntlet. They've got they got their first aid thing is fastened into their bag. But oh no, we need a glowing sword, to help give away our position. I mean, it's just so fucking stupid. I mean,
what planet are they supposed to be on, too? Like, what planet is this?
It doesn't matter what planet it is.
Is this their home world? Is this not their home world?
Because the Yautja looks like crap.
It does look bad. The animated one looks 10 times better. It looks more interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it does look better, which is weird because the last time we were on, we were like, it looks like really bad video game graphics, and now we're like, oh,
No.
now after we see that, we're like, oh, not so bad.
It's like the Cena match. It's last year's WrestleMania was okay. Now the Cena match came out. You're like, oh my god, that was 5 stars. 5 stars. Oh man, yep, yeah. That looks bad, man. I mean, bad. And I read now. Don't shoot the messenger. I read people actually like this design. I'm like,
No, they
what?
don't. No, they
What?
No
They
way.
like
So
the
somebody's full of
franchise.
shit then.
Shut up a minute. They like the franchise.
Oh
and
my
they just
God.
want it to succeed. That's all it is people are like, I like it. I love it. So it's going to be fucking great now because I love it. I've decided that I love it because I'm fucking 19 years old and I don't know shit. And I didn't fucking live through the originals. And I don't understand why people have such a big problem with it. Oh, it's like this.
Zeus just told us to shut up a minute. Shut up a minute.
This is pissed. Yes, Father.
Okay.
Fucking people just love a franchise now. It's like Scream is one of my favorite movies, but it just falls off so hard after the first one. Like I just
Travel Guru VT, what's going on?
Hey, Travel Guru, how you doing? You just arrived just as Zeus is telling us to shut up a minute.
Thank you, Travel Guru. You are a man of intelligence and great.
Yes. Travel Guru just got back from a big vacation. He's been posting lots of stuff. He just got back from a lot of vacation stuff. So.
Oh my God!
Everyone, check out Travel Guru. VT.
I want to know. Who left the room going, yeah, that's a good design. Let's put that on film. Well,
they're probably like, we spent enough time.
Who decided this? Who decided that? I want to meet the person who decided that.
The same people that thought that Alien Romulus was a good idea.
Damn. So.
Let's make a fucking android with fucking autism.
Damn.
You know, fall in love with fucking people it can't possibly fall in love with because it's a fucking machine.
Oh,
it doesn't love you, little girl.
Zeus, wasn't the Predator in the first Alien versus Predator a young Predator?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. I thought he was a younger Predator compared to the other guys who come up the ship at the end.
Yeah. Scar. Scar was a younger.
You're right.
I misunderstood the question there for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because that looks.
Yeah, Scar. They call him Scar. He was supposed to be a younger.
Yeah, he was supposed to be a younger Predator, right? He was a younger Yacho. So why are they making this guy look like this? Especially when you got the animated one coming, and the animated one looks better than that.
Okay, amigos. I asked ChatGPT. I asked them to. I said, make because y'all mentioned the glow sticks and the lightsabers and stuff. I was like, make something like Predators having a rave to see if it would come out like this thing. Let me show you what it gave us. Can you see?
Oh, so it looks like the end of Predator 2.
Yeah.
With Danny Glover and all the Predators dancing. And
yeah.
Here's another one it gave us.
Lord.
And here's one more. Here's one more.
Head right.
Look, this one. They look. This one has like a thong on there.
She's like, dong, 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 dong.
Look at these ones just jumping. Like, these ones in the background just like jumping and stuff. Their feet are disappearing into the ground. AI can't do shit, but
yeah, it looks better than fucking Badlands, though. I'd rather watch that.
Well, I don't. Okay, now let me ask you. I can't even say this with a straight face. Oh my god! I mean, how good does the story have to be for you not to pay attention to what it looks like?
mm.
I mean, for you to sit there and go, you know what? Even though it looks like that, the movie's fantastic. I mean, how good does this have to be?
So, James, I think about this from
Because
Godzilla.
there's no excuse for what it looks like.
I think about this from Godzilla terms, right?
Okay.
One of my favorite Godzilla movies from the Showa era is Hedorah, the three-headed monster.
Oh, great monster! Yeah.
Well, and the storyline in the movie is fantastic, in my opinion, with the lady who's sort of possessed by the alien and the people trying to kill her from her country, the princess and stuff, and all the involvement. And then you have the stuff with the Rodan and Godzilla fighting each other, and Mothra putting them together to fight Hedorah and all this stuff. So I really love the story of that movie. I love that movie a lot. But now this movie also has Google Eye Rodan.
Rodan.
It has Google Eye Rodan. It has some of the worst, the absolute worst monster stuff Toho has ever done is in this movie. But I love the movie. But yeah, so I guess you have a point. Maybe it can turn us around where maybe we just laugh at it and we're like, well, it's a fun movie or something. Who knows?
See, I've seen a lot of people, shitting on this Yautja head, and a lot of people are hoping that they're gonna that they'll pull a Sonic. And pull this back and redo the Yautja before they release it.
That's a thought.
That's the only thought.
Push that thought. Manifest it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
mean, and get rid of the fucking lightsabers.
Yeah, I wasn't buying that. I don't know what that. I don't. Matter of fact, Pedro.
Yes.
Why don't you run that trailer?
What? We want to watch the trailer.
Yeah,
we're gonna get more. We're gonna get more moments muted on this.
Yeah, it's just gonna go nuts. Yeah,
let's watch it. I love hate watching something every once in a while.
Okay.
I'm trying to make. I'm trying to make sense of. I'm just trying to make sense of it. Like,
good luck.
No, wait a second.
Like, what is
I gotta show you guys these thumbnails people have up on YouTube because this is cracking me up. This is fucking cracking me up. Look at these thumbnails.
Look
at them.
So terrible.
Look at this one. Look at the one at the bottom. The thumbnail's so terrible. Bad. Okay. Let's watch it.
I can't. Go ahead.
I didn't think you survived.
Fucking land speeder.
You're right. I didn't put that together. It is. I didn't even notice that.
Who's that, Obafemi?
That would be awesome. His entrance happens.
Yeah, you want Obafemi, but we get Clark Connor.
You're hunting something.
Vanilla.
Look at the lightsabers! Look at the lightsabers!
Yeah, that cat's the actual size of a house kitten.
So he's got to fight Yoroki
That's
Doji and
such a great trope in fucking sci-fi movies. Stupid fucking tendril bullshit's coming at the hero. Oh, fuck off. Fuck you, Trachtenberg, you fucking dumb dipshit motherfucker. Fucking goddamn, what a terrible fucking. It's the biggest pile of fucking stupid shit. Fuck, this makes me want to go watch The Predator.
The biggest pile of fucking stupid shit. Oh my goodness. We done.
I'm pretty
got dreads.
Anything going on next weekend? James, what about you? What anything happening? Because I know you've been going through all these appointments and stuff. Anything coming up we need to know, or?
Nah, more the same, more stuff. I'm gonna see if I'm. I think I'm pretty much recovered from WrestleMania weekend with Lord Luck, so I think I'll get back at it on Real House Radio on Friday, and hopefully we can do this again next Saturday. And then I got like 17,000 appointments. But other than that, the baboon horse still going because I gotta stay alive enough to watch this shitty movie called Predator Badlands.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll finally put that final nail in the coffin.
No. It's gonna be so good. You're gonna cry. You're gonna have this little teardrop go down. Zeus, you got anything going on?
No.
Zeus is gonna be hate watching Badlands again.
I have a new single out. Just put it out there. I have a new single out. A One-Sided Conversation is out. It's available everywhere: Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, Apple Music, YouTube, Bandcamp, blah blah blah. Here, how about I show us a little 41-second promotional clip? How many dragons will you put in front of me? Did you want me? Did you need me? Did you say you can't live without me? You chose this hard and lonely solitude for both you and I. So yeah, I got a single out there for everyone to check out.
One final thing, the greatest WrestleMania cameo wasn't even shown on the broadcast, but my father, the Great Muta, was there in attendance, hanging out, eating sushi and watching a WrestleMania ice sculpture melt in his private luxury box there.
At least they knew I was watching WrestleMania because Lex Luger didn't actually come out during the WrestleMania show to honor the Hall of Fame inductees. He was not part of that, so I want to thank him for that.
We know you love him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's on my Christmas card list every year.
Joey Greco then likes Luger.
When James finally joined WWE Slam, I've got a number of Lex Luger cards waiting for him. So.
There we go.
Yeah, we got a bunch.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I got like a super rare last night. It's awesome. Can't wait to.
Pedro, James bought a LWO T-shirt because he thought it was the Luger World Order.
Oh wow!
Fucking guys, that's guys.
Everyone, have a great week ahead. Alex Alberto G, thanks for stopping by. Travel Guru VT, thank you for stopping by. Big shout out to the double BO5 Brian Bell. He wasn't here, but I know he's been going through some stuff. He's had some funerals and stuff to attend to, so big shout out towards him. So catch y'all next week, God willing, and adios.
Peace.
Shut up a minute.